Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my SSF Zero to Hero Burning Arrow run. I have made some progress and quite some changes, also thanks to chat while streaming. So it is time to share the latest updates before I continue the grind. Let's dive in.
It's funny, Ranger.
After the campaign is over, my journey continues in Oriath. I wake up, talk to Kirak to get my first map and run alleyways. I get a new amulet from a merc, but unless I get some additional intelligence, I brick my entire setup while equipping it. I get some points in Betrayal and start setting up the board, also hitting level 72. Here's what early maps look like while I'm looting a strongbox full of currency. It's pretty smooth, still. I gamble some bows, this does look promising, and I gamble some quivers, which look equally promising. It is early endgame, so I'm juggling gear around a lot, but some of these go into the stash. The rest is liquidated for additional currency. Speaking of currency, a good source of that are the mercenaries, assuming you can survive them. Map clearing is still quite nice with Herald of Ash, aesthetically pleasing as well. I equip the bow that I gambled and I give the old one to the homie, reach level 74 in the safe house, take down mercs and betrayal members at the same time, get one shot by this map boss whose projectiles are pretty hard to see, unveil a great amulet with flat damage and a lot of resistances, get 12 blessed orbs from a ritual. I identify a decent heavy belt as I need strength, and this allows me to equip that amulet that I just unveiled. In a tier 2 sepulcher, I drop a clean 5 link, so it is time for a little crafting because I hardly have any materials. I use whatever essences I have, hoping to get something decent. I get some defenses, life resistances, and I craft cold res on it too. And I link Burning Arrow to a Trinity, returning projectiles, elemental damage with attacks, and cruelty. In a Vaal side area, I get chased by an oversized monkey. The Maven drops her beacon, I keep on zooming for now, drop my first Divine Vessel, start investing in spell suppression on the tree for some defenses, take the Mark Mastery that stops enemy life regeneration, craft a decent life flask with bleed immunity, get the Projectile Mastery as I have a lot of dexterity, get one shot by a merc, remove quests from the UI so I can actually upgrade my gems, get a very defensive quiver with Pierce, and that brings my total chaos res to 29%. Here I am running around in the tier 9 rare map to get my Pantheon point and everything still goes fairly smooth. I kill the boss with the help of shrines. You can see single target damage gets a little bit iffy, as does the tankiness of this build, but at least I am freeze immune now. I drop a Tanu Ani, which Chet and I think we can make work, at least it's worth a shot. I craft a bit on it, replace the gems and see if the Onslaught and Adrenaline are triggering. And while they do from time to time, it is very inconsistent because this only works on physical damage, meaning that my mana forced arrows are the only skills triggering these effects. All in all, it is a worthy attempt, but it's not worth it. Time to get my old gloves back. I unveil some very good boots, movement speed and onslaught on kill, plus great additional modifiers. I take the projectile speed mastery, here you see the single target damage struggle. I get another amethyst ring with additional chaos res, putting me at 51%. Another craft on the helmet puts me at 65, I reach level 84 and I fight yet another ring, capping my chaos res. I'm also spell suppression capped at this point. For single target, I sometimes swap in barrage support, which of course helps. I gamble some incredible gloves, craft attack speed on them. I drop the Painseeker gloves, decide to do a trial, which I hate with a passion, and I actually die. Fortunately, these don't reset like the lab do. It is still embarrassing, not gonna lie. I do make it ultimately. I get my offering, put Eldritch Implicits on those gloves. Here is the Izaro damage with barrage support instead of returning projectiles, which is decent enough I guess. This certainly isn't easy on a Deadeye with little single target damage, but I do kill him and I take focal point for Mark effect, which should and does significantly increase single target damage. I also put quality on Sniper's Mark twice, meaning it is now 20%. I complete a Maven invite. I keep looking for Gravicious as I need that guy in transportation, but he hasn't shown up yet. Betrayal is still worth it though, and I reach level 86. This is the point where I'm slowly getting into red maps, and the struggles are significant. Because of that, I swap out Herald of Ash, which doesn't have much physical damage to scale off of, for Anger, providing flat damage. Someone in chat suggested Artillery Ballista on a 4-link, which I liked, so I used that skill and linked it to elemental damage with attacks, fire penetration, and I experimented with some green gems. For now it is cold damage. I craft a bit on my boots, so they have 2 red sockets, because to still be able to run grace and precision, I needed to link precision with arrogance support, so it would reserve life instead of mana. The draft version of what this build looks like right now you can see in this footage. This is a tier 10 or so map. It's a significant improvement with a lot of gems being low level. Also single target damage has improved quite a lot. I complete another Maven invite using barrage support for all of these map bosses, which works quite well. This isn't much of a bosser, but it's not horrible either, and tanks spell damage thanks to suppression quite well. The Black Star fight takes a little bit of time, but it isn't in any way challenging, and after 1 minute she's dead. The Infinite Hunger does take a little bit longer, as he is underground half the time, or I am wading through whatever cesspool this is, but after 1 minute and 40 seconds he's also gone. I have seen worse, and if you watch my content, you have as well. Here's me again, running a tier 12 map with some help from the shrines, sure. I'm overall pretty happy with this, knowing there's still some scaling left. I have some ways to go. For a fresh SSF League start, doing this at tier 12 after only a short amount of playtime, it's decent. This isn't beating meta builds in any way, or even some of my previous creations, but overall I am quite satisfied up to this point. I do, however, feel the need to think about additional improvements, and because the added damage effectiveness of Burning Arrow is so high, I am also looking for some more flat added damage. I have enough currency to automate a single flask, because I am quite unlucky there with the rolls. A Merc offers 3 Divines, which I will gladly take. That will come in handy. What may come in handy at some point is Lion Eyes Vision with baked in Pierce. I drop an Immortal Flash, which could be great for a homie later, and then, lo and behold, a 6-link drops off screen. I spend some random currency on it, benchcraft for around 850 armor and evasion, apply quality, and for now go with 3 greens, 2 blues and 1 red. After a check in Path of Building, it advised me to go with Immolate support, as my enemies are burning, and that is a lot of added fire damage. I put a single Eldritch Orb on it as well as one of the boots, and needless to say this is quite a big upgrade. However, my Trinity setup is broken. I don't get full resonance anymore. I do too much fire damage and not enough lightning damage, so only 2 out of the 3 bars fill up, and that's no good. I also hit level 90. I do a small passive tree respec, invest in some more life, use the website Blight Helper, just google that, to see which annoyance I could have with the few oils available to me, and I opt to get more spell suppression. It's cheap and useful. This is a tier 14 map Mercenary. I'm still not super happy with single target, and Trinity is still scuffed. Someone in chat told me I should craft local attack speed, not the attack speed that triggers with a nearby enemy, which actually makes sense. I swap Immolate for added lightning damage to fix my Trinity, and also take Volatility instead of Cruelty like I previously had, or Inspiration, which I also felt was just not great. I encounter a Great Cartographer's Strongbox. This is quite helpful for map progression. I encounter a double possessed, cloned Lunaris and Solaris, which is a complete death sentence of course. I hire a new homie, a good old trusted kineticist, and I give her some gear. I don't have anything special yet though. I trade using a vendor recipe to get another Instilling Orb, allowing me to automate my second flask, Quicksilver. Then, this Merc has an amazing bow, triple elemental damage. It's not the highest tiers, but I will take it anyway, and fortunately I managed to survive the encounter and grab the loot. On my way to work, I read a comment saying that Ensnaring Arrow doesn't work with Pierce, and after that I read the skill description and that seems to be indeed the case. So I thought of something else that is fun, and I landed on Storm Rain. That is in fact quite fun, at least I think so. And it also destroys visual clarity, but yeah, you can't have it all. Single target damage and just damage in general after all the tinkering has been increased significantly, and running high tier red maps suddenly becomes quite smooth. I get my first Voidstone invite, meaning it is bossing time on my not really a bossing character, and that goes just fine I would say. I'm not really tanky whatsoever of course, but Artillery Ballista, Storm Rain triggered by Mana Forced Arrows and Burning Arrows supported by Barrage are good enough to take down the guy. To prepare for the next episode, I start collecting some crit gear as I am still running Precise Technique up to this point. I get my first Exalt, get the second Voidstone invitation, get a very good Abyss Jewel with tons of flat damage, and then it is time for the Eater of Worlds. And after some beating around the bush, the slams and the tentacles, he goes down in 3.5 minutes. That's not great, but it's fine. It means I now have double Voidstones. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the end of it. I primarily wanted to run over my gear and my skills. The other stuff really has hardly changed, like the passive tree. As per usual, I will post a POB, but this is not significantly different than last time. However, the gear definitely is, and also the homie is to some extent.
Well, what will it be then?
We can quickly start with the homie. I just gave her a wand. I actually gambled this. And she has the southbound. And for the rest, she's got like decent. This is a lot of flat damage on her, right? And the rest is mostly what she came with. I definitely plan on getting her some more stuff. But the elemental weakness curse is quite nice. The haste aura, of course. And then she does some damage. Here you see some of the stats. The attributes are actually quite high. I have no clue how I ended up with 350 dexterity, but that's what I have. Hit chance is clearly 100%. My accuracy is 4200, my life 3700, so that checks out for the precise technique. Defense, still a shitload of fire res, otherwise everything is capped. I am 100% spell suppressed, 53 prevention, and then I am also freeze immune. But then the reason why you're here and why I wanted to show this is first I think the gear. This is a very good bow, I would say, with a lot of flat damage in there. The belt is fine, I don't think it's anything special, but it does have like a decent amount of evasion and some life. The quiver, a good amount again of flat damage and then some resistances. The amulet, same idea really, resistances, some attributes. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I allocated instinct for the spell suppress. The two rings, again, it's all the same story. Resistances, flat damage, life. In this case, some attributes because I sorely need those attributes. The gloves is the only one that I really have some of the implicit on. Extinguish, in case you're unaware. This makes sure that extinguished enemies cannot inflict elemental ailments, and because I hit so much, quite a few of the enemies are actually extinguished and then don't deal elemental ailments to me. The belt, I think pretty straightforward, but I need the strength for some of my support gems. And then the boots I'm really quite happy with because of the onslaught on kill, a bit of chaos res, 29 movement speed, a bunch of evasion. I think this is actually quite good. And then the skills. So I did manage to get a 6 link as you saw. And for now I am supporting Burning Arrow with elemental damage with attacks support, Trinity support, which I actually can get going now. Mirage Archer, because that's just good sustain in that sense, especially on bosses. Added Lightning, because I needed another source of lightning to fix the Trinity. And then Volatility, so that the spread of the damage goes up and down quite a bit. This also once again helps with the Trinity support. And then I have two sort of main supporting things going on. The first is Artillery Ballista, which I have also linked to elemental damage with attacks. Faster projectiles, because also I have a mastery that turns projectile speed into projectile damage. So this is effectively 95% projectile damage. And then added cold for really no apparent reason. And then here I still have Fire Pen if I want it. I'm not sure I do, but at least I am leveling this. And then I have one Mana Forged Arrows support setup. This is linked at first to Storm Rain, and Storm Rain is then again linked to Life Tap so that it doesn't cost mana, and it's also linked to Culling Strike. And this actually does quite a bit of damage and it also shocks, so it's not too bad. Then here at the top I also have a setup, the Sniper's Mark. This hasn't changed from last time, so it's Mark on hit, Sniper's Mark, Life Tap and Dash. I'm still running Dash for some reason. And the auras are Anger, Grace, as you could have seen. I've also got a Vile Grace, so here the Vile Grace is on the right mouse button. If I'm in a dicey situation, I will click my right mouse button and then you can just use this. It's actually quite nice. And then because I didn't have enough mana to support the Precision Gem, I linked it to Arrogance instead. So now I am reserving a little bit of life so that I can run my Precision. And that's it, that's really all I wanted to show. So now you have the full setup. Again, I will post the POB, and up next is trying to go crit. I think that is one of the main things that I'd like to do and just see how that pans out. So I'm already collecting a little bit of gear, as you can see over here, some amulets with crit, a quiver with crit multi, crit strike, that sort of thing. So So I'm preparing for that swap. I think I'm gonna gain a few levels as well. Maybe level up a gem or two, and then yeah, we'll take it like that. As per usual, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. So love you all. See you soon. Bye bye.